American sprinting sensation Sha'Carri Richardson, stripped of the chance to vie for a medal at the Tokyo Olympics because of a positive marijuana test. Head of the U.S. anti-doping agency was among the many who sympathized with her plight. Years later, with the Paris Olympics set to get underway, there's little effort to show for people pushing for a change on this whole cannabis thing. All natural and synthetic cannabinoids, including the dreaded marijuana, remain prohibited by the World Anti-Doping Agency. Disappointing, Tiger, the head of U.S. Olympics, told Yahoo Sports, "I think we should all just be open and upfront about cannabis's lack of performance-enhancing benefits. Not in the recreational drug policing business. We're here to prevent fraud in sport and cheaters in sport." Fairness of WADA's marijuana rule inspired days of spirited debate 3 days ago in the wake of Richardson's suspension. Notable athletes, entertainers, and politicians called for a change even before Richardson went on Today's Show, explained she used cannabis a few days before the start of the U.S. Olympic trials. September 2021, WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, initiated a scientific review of cannabis at the request of the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. And what they found was there were 3 criteria for the list of inclusion on a list of prohibited substances. A panel of scientists had mixed opinions regarding the first criteria, whether cannabis could be performance enhancing. They found no rigorously conducted studies on this particular benefit or not. There's consensus among experts on WADA's second and third criteria that cannabis used during competition poses a potential health risk to athletes and violates the spirit of the sport. An August 2023 paper describing the work, WADA's experts specifically noted that while the U.S. has relaxed restrictions on marijuana, its use violates the law in most countries around the world. I'm going to give you a quick summation of this whole story. First and foremost, this comes out of USA Today, and they're still using the word marijuana, a word invented for cannabis by William Randolph Hearst that actually was used to describe a Mexican native smoking tobacco, a word rooted in just racism. The article goes on to share about how Russian and other athletes have been caught with using actual performance-enhancing pharmaceutical drugs and been allowed to continue to compete, while Sha'Carri Richardson, an amazing and beautiful black woman, was found guilty of smoking cannabis not while competing and is still being banned. The whole story just, when you read between the lines, stinks of the continued prejudice and racism against our black and brown brothers and sisters, how that racism has been used to divide us, as well as keep us from cannabis and other psychedelics that are teaching plants, fungi, and spirit molecules that we all need to use for our benefit. I have to hit a work Zoom. I would like to turn it over to you guys after saying one more thing, which is Olympics is just, another version of kind of modern day slavery where they capture these athletes of all races and ethnicities, pay them nothing, and use their efforts to make billions of dollars for corporations and corrupt political officials around the world. It's just more bullshit. Let's all eat 5 grams of mushrooms together and come up with a new system for sharing resources of our world and realizing that no matter what our skin suits that we were born into this world look like, we are all brothers and sisters. We are all born on this earth. Really deeply love and appreciate all of you guys. I'm very thankful for my ability to share the news here. I'm sure my commentary upsets some people, and I'm glad for that. Take it away, High at Night News Team. St. Germain out.
Yes.
So wait, let me get this straight. A man can box the shit out of a woman and win the fucking title in the women's competition.
No. Hold on. That is a smear campaign. That was 100%. Look on X right now. They are apologizing for all of that shit. That was a fake ass smear campaign.
Let me go look. Okay, please correct me because that was upsetting.
And the woman, the Italian woman who threw the fight, actually apologized. So let's not push that fucking shit.
Let's go look.
Exactly what you're talking about the boxing match. Yeah, look at all the updates on that shit.
All right, I'm looking.
Interesting.
It was a smear. Let's not push that shit. There's a 100% transphobia. The way that it was coming out from the alt-right.
Well, if that's true, that's fucked up.
Yes, it's
if that's true, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, interesting.
Sorry, I had to put the kibosh on that one quick. Because I was siding with the Trump bros earlier on in the week, and then more details came out about that shit. Like, nah.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I feel we definitely want to keep things fair and balanced and accurate. And so it does make it easy for people to get caught up in their emotions when things do come out like that. And so we do want to try to make sure that we keep in a level head. And
it's a lot more complicated.
Well, let's report on the weed news, because I'm just going to keep reading into this one, because LA Times just came out with something.
Yeah, it was a lot more complicated than everybody was putting it out to be. It's not cut and dry with that one. And old girl was just a garbage ass boxer. Straight up.
But she made it to the Olympics? That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but about this one.
I have so many things to say about that.
Yeah, different conversation, different day. Let's keep it weed today. We don't want to fall into that. That's a rabbit hole we don't want to grab onto a snake out of. So, that being said.
I see what you did there, Rico.
That was cute, Rico.
All right, so the Paris Olympics, a big shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. And she's doing the damn thing early right here. And I think it says a lot about not just the genesis of the perception of cannabis on a global stage. I think America is actually making a lot of statements here with Snoop Dogg out there representing and doing a damn great job commentating too.
He should have smoked.
If you guys have not watched, it's okay if you don't watch the Olympics or anything. Just go look at one of these supercuts of Snoop Dogg's commentation. Fantastic, better than any of that trash milquetoast garbage that they've been putting out for years. And I think this can weed bringing a lot more eyes to the Olympics than ever before. This is something that the world needs.
Are you saying?
Lo and behold, weed makes things more interesting.
Are you saying weed for the people now, Rico? Is that what I'm hearing?
For the people, globally right here. And what we can talk about, Jenny Beth, without delving into that the toxic issue right there is the fact that there are several athletes who tested positive for steroids and stimulants and were still allowed to perform. Yet Sha'Carri Richardson was not able to do that. But that's the kind of stuff that the Olympic organization, WADA, needs to clean up. And I'm all for just abolishing WADA whatsoever. Have some kind of uniform testing across the board. I understand that you need to do that on Olympic level, but there's some shit going on right now. If you guys have been watching the swimming, the Chinese athlete who won, he broke his own world record multiple times. He was in the freestyle competition, a full body's length in front of number 2. It's never, ever happened in the history of the sport. That's the kind of stuff they need to be looking into, not cannabis usage. Off my soapbox. Sorry.
Fair enough. Any of the doctors, any of you two have any comments on this? I mean, because I think this is very interesting that someone from the U.S. is coming out and saying that this is ridiculous.
The drug testing is ridiculous. It's great that they're doing it, and shout out to her for being that. She was put into that position for some reason, and she's taking it on and really bringing it forward. So that's very cool. In terms of the doping, it's such a complex problem. But I saw that race, and that sprint race where he was a body's length ahead of everyone was incredible. And when you saw him up against his competitors, he was small and the others were giants, but he was faster.
Interesting. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, the only thing that I would add, and maybe Dr. Talleyrand could expand on this, is that performance enhancing drugs. Okay, there's performance enhancing diet, right? Yeah. So if you're drinking probiotic, or if you're consuming anything that can enhance your performance, where do you draw the line between what's a nutraceutical, something that you're getting from food? So, if you're eating mangoes and you're eating lots of citrus, you're getting lots of vitamin C. That enhance one's performance. Why do they always
your performance? Right.
Hold on. Right. Working out in a gym could be considered performance enhancing.
Yes.
Even practicing for your sport could be considered performance enhancing.
Drinking electrolytes like Gatorade, I think, certainly anabolic steroids, which kind of hijacks body's ability to produce muscle mass, is not right. I mean, that could just take somebody who maybe is not is built and build muscle mass on that, which can enhance performance. But isn't it true, Jean, that there's lots of things that could be performance enhancing? So what do? Do you limit what they eat? Do you limit natural foods? Do you limit nutraceuticals? Where does this end?
It doesn't end. It's a gray area. It's a gray area that will all need ongoing definition. Right now they seem to have drawn the line between something that helps build muscle mass, but there are things that cross that line, like HGH is really something that helps repair. It's not really a builder, it's a repair. So you can possibly throw cannabis in that category and make it illegal because it helps repair. But does ibuprofen help repair too? So there's all sorts of discussions along that definition of repair versus building muscle that's going to be argued over with scientists and regulators forever.
Dr. T, Ben LeBone, who watches every day with us, and shout out, appreciate your support, Ben, says sleeping is performance enhancing also.
Yeah, and reparative, probably reparative. So
exactly.
Is it the same as HGH?
Someone in chat just mentioned caffeine. Now, I think of caffeine typically, John, as a stimulant. But can you have 5 cups of high-grade Starbucks coffee and then run a quicker marathon because you've been stimulated?
That's oxymoron. That's oxymoron, right there, Dr. Mark. High-grade and Starbucks.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was a cross-country runner back in the day, and we would take no-dos. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, no-dos. Yeah.
And we would crush them into applesauce, and that was a pre-race ritual to get us stimulated because the caffeine works better with glucose, with sugar. So you add sugar with the caffeine in order to get it to work better.
Was that in the 70s or the 60s that you were taking them no-dos, Dr. T?
That was in the 80s.
Oh, in the 80s. Okay.
In college in the 80s, yeah.
The disrespect, Jason Beck.
I was asking. They were popular in the 60s and 70s. That's why I asked.
No-dos?
They're still popular. They still exist.
Hey, Dr. T, can you still find Quaaludes?
Quaaludes is more 70s. What's that about Quaaludes?
Whatever happened to Quaaludes? They just run out.
We realized.
I think Bill Cosby probably took up the whole American stash, right?
Oh boy.
Well, we realized they were pretty dangerous, and so we banned them. And really the benzos took over for the Quaaludes market.
Interesting. All right, we're going to roll into our final commercial, and we're going to be right back.